The Rise of Mordor tournament is continuing with another epic 2 vs 2. Today we have the Easterlings and Dale going up against the forces of Harad and Dol Amroth. So two very strong factions on either side. Obviously the Swan Knights are going to be absolutely devastating in this match, and I can't wait to see how this one does turn out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the army comps really quickly. This obviously is a tournament, and we'll take a look from this side because it makes this game look so much better when you take a look at, Attila from its good side. So for the forces of Rhyn, we do have these amazing shock infantry lancers. They're really decent. They're heavily armed. They can get stuck in. Obviously going to get not going to be able to match like the cost effectiveness of Swan Knights, but still really good in the very staple cavalry unit, I think, and they just look amazing. Then we do have some more Easterling halberds, which are going to be pushing up, supporting that cavalry as best as they can, and we also have a unit of Bane of the Steppe as well, one of the best cavalry units in the game, so really strong units. Then we have a ton of Located Rhyn on the front line, again, as I said, one of the most cost-effective units in the entire game. That's one of the reasons why the Eastlings are such a strong faction. They kind of have a bit of everything, and they also have these awesome warlords back here as well. So a very solid formation indeed. Obviously a heavy front line supported by halberds with the cavalry, then the two shock infantry units in the background, able to really get themselves stuck in the archers just to kind of cover that. Then we have the forces of Dale. Dale are going to be kind of roaming forward with a ton of their swordsmen. Just, again, a very staple infantryman that can really get stuck into any unit and, again, not take forever to win. They might not win every engagement, but they'll definitely just overrun the enemy. And I think this is probably a pretty good pick against someone like Harad, who do have generally much more of a larger roster than an elite roster. So having a ton of infantry here is going to be very useful indeed. Then we also have some of the best bowmen in the game. With Dale, we have the Marksman of Dale. Not the super top tier, but still very strong and can outmatch probably anything Harad or Dol Amroth have to offer. And then we also, on their far right flank, also have a little bit of a cavalry engagement just kicking off already. Some of the Harad Lancers, I think, who can Vanguard deploy, have been run down and taken down by the cavalry of Dale, which is pretty good. But killing one of them cavalry units is going to give them a pretty big advantage in this battle. But if we take a look at their opponents, we have Harad on their front line. They have some south front heavy spearmen, a very decent spearman who can repel the enemy charges. We can also have some Haradrian axe infantry, such a cool ass looking unit. Really is super dope. You guys can see them. Behind that, we have a ton of the vassal swordsmen. These guys are just numerous. They're pretty trash, but you just throw them in and just try and overwhelm the enemy with numbers. On the far right flank, we do just have some more south front lancers and also some serpent raiders as well. Harad don't really have the strongest cavalry in the game at the moment, but I'm sure when they get some more of their kind of like heavier desert cataphract units, they definitely will. Then for the forces of Dol Amroth, on their front line, we do just have some seaward swordsmen. Again, very strong infantry. They've got some bowmen in the background, and then just 3 hefty, fat old units of these Knights of the Silver Swan. Some of the best cavalry in the game. Very expensive and maybe not as cost effective, maybe, as I said previously, but still very strong. They'll beat most units on the front line. They also are wrecking 2 units of these Marines as well, who throw javelins. They're basically like a skirmisher unit. Really good at affecting and bringing down the enemy lines. And we also have 3 units of Haven Guard. I said it right, not Heaven Guard this time, Haven Guard. And again, these guys are super scary. I would not want to fight these guys. Whenever I see them, I focus all my missiles on them because they are just devastating. But some good cavalry charges into them will be enough to bring them down. And there isn't really any like spears out here, so if I was the Lancer units, I'd be thinking about maybe just doing a kind of a frontal charge and just trying to kill these guys. Could definitely be an interesting situation. The archer fight, though, is now kicking off, and we do have some bowmen from the forces of Dol Amroth moving in there. And both the cavalry units of the Knights of the Silver Swan are also moving around this right flank, I guess obviously to mirror one another as the archer volleys are going back and forth. However, Dol Amroth are in their shield wall, so not going to be taking too many missile hits. And we also have some archer fire kind of just scaring off the lancers, bringing them back a little bit, as more and more of these bowmen do look back as well and just try and kind of return some missile fire. I imagine all their missile fire will be heavily focused down onto the Haven Guard. Every single shock infantryman you can take out of that will be very good. And honestly, I think the forces of Rhyn have a pretty good setup here. They have some spearmen here to help out, hold the shock infantry in place, and also they obviously got these halberds to help out the cavalry fight, so I'm liking the look of this kind of setup. However, we do have some units roaming around now, more Knights of the Silver Swan moving in here, as the archers obviously take 5, and Marksmen of Dale are going to be unleashing a volley here onto these Knights of the Silver Swan. Not going to kill any of them, I don't think, on this volley. but still it's going to be taking down that HP, which is obviously ever so important. And if they get another volley or two off there, that's going to be very good. We're also getting missile fire return back onto the Loki Rim. Halberds, not too good there. That's going to hurt. And a big cavalry fight as well. The Knights of the Silver Swan charging in, just diving headlong into the Lancers. Brutal stuff. And all of that assault is going on. We do also have the Haven Guard jump running in as well. They're going to be diving into the Heavy Spearmen. And again, this Heavy Spearman unit is going to be up against it. Luckily, it is the Clan Guard, one of the strongest Spearmen they have to offer. But still, it's going to be a hard one indeed. And immediately, the Loco Rim, instead of going to this cavalry fight, immediately go to help out against this Haven Guard, which I think is pretty necessary. We also have a lot of javelins here as well. More Haven Guard as Shock Infantry just descends upon into this cavalry fight. And oh my god, this is going to basically probably decide the battle. We got two extremely scary Shock Infantry units fighting one another, the Warlords and the Haven Guard. Two very scary cavalry units fighting one another. Honestly, I do very much like the setup so far from Amroth. They've kind of got this kind of fight, I think, under control, and you are seeing they are winning this against the Lancers. However, the other two engagements aren't looking as good because they've got Shock Infantry in here against the general unit, the Knights of Imladris. We have to be very careful there unless they can reinforce this, which they are. They're bringing another unit of Shock Infantry in. Okay, yeah, they're now very much like the Knights of the Silver Swan. You can see them winning against the Bane of the Steppe on that charge. Obviously, Bane of the Steppe are much more of a melee cavalry, whereas Knights of the Silver Swan are about shock cavalry. But even still, it's going to be very helpful. And it wouldn't be a bad idea as well to set up these javelins and just start pummeling these warlords, which is exactly what they're doing. A pretty nice move there. The entire infantry lines have also fully engaged now as well, so you can start to see the Seaward Swordsman for Amroth just fighting it against the Loki Rim. And again, like, this is a very good matchup for both units. Like, they're both just very sturdy frontline infantry. I would take these as my front line against most enemy units for sure. We are also seeing as well the missile fire being flung in there on them javelins, just trying to kill as many as possible. I kind of feel like a lot of the time though, it's just not really worth it. And oh my god, look at the damage here on this unit of Clan Guard. They are getting ripped apart by the Haven, even with the support of the halberds. They're just being torn apart, and also lots of javelin fire going down here as well. So yeah, this right flank is looking a little bit scary, and it's definitely need more reinforcements. However, in the center as well, we are getting more of Knights of the Silver Swan though clashing in, and the front lines are fully engaged as well. We've got Shock Infantry, and we've also got Spearmen here holding this line down. So let me get a better angle really quickly. You can see these guys fully going in as Dale just has to hold the line. Even some cavalry managed to make their way back here and charging deep into enemy lines. These raiders able to get some decent kills off there on the marksman of Dale and just kind of cause issues in that back line, which is really important. However, over on the other side, we do have the elite cavalry of Dale, these elven elite infantry, charging into the back of the Haradrim. And the Haradrim aren't really a faction that can really withstand that. You can see the numbers just dropping massively. They're already shaken. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this unit completely collapse as more and more of the cavalry just come flying in. And there's nothing here whatsoever. Oh my god, this is a huge misplay. You're just going to get all this cavalry into the back of your front line, and that's going to be it. Obviously, they made a play here, but that is just not worth it. Wow. I can't believe how open this flank is. Like, that's just going to... You saw how much damage they did previously. And if anything, this cavalry needs to hurry its way over here quickly. I mean, it's too late, as we do get the elven cavalry just charging in. Oh, he's actually the normal Dale cavalryman. That is catastrophic. Again, if we just hover over number... We're going to see that drop down. Look at the numbers, and they're shaken already. This is going to give such a big advantage to the men of Dale, and I think this is honestly going to cost them the battle. This cavalry is up to 150 kills already, and they've lost barely anyone ready just to go in again, as there's still no answer. The general has charged in against one of the Dale cavalry, but it's still just freeing up so much more cavalry to come in once again and just rear charge this huge bulk of infantry. And man, yeah, this is literally costing them the tournament right here. As another cavalry unit comes in, luckily the Knights of the Silver Swan have managed to win that and are able to come in and try and stop the bleeding. But, I mean, look at that. 300 kills on this cavalry is going to continue to go up as they just roam in once more. Man, that is brutal. That really is. The Elven General, though, is... I couldn't call him the Elven. It's because he's in Elven armor. This is like the Vinland or Vineland cavalry being hit there. But the Dale cavalry needs to get out of there, and it looks like he's going to be going in to just try and hit more of his cavalry. And yeah, the cavalry as well for Dale have just been racking up hundreds of kills. This one almost up to 400 right now. Another beautiful charge there into the Haradrim line. How's the front line doing? How's this left flank doing? It does seem like the archers have been thrown in to try and stem the bleeding here. And the Haven Guard is actually being killed somehow. I wonder what killed them. Was it the halberds? So halberds up to 80 kills, so I guess it was them. The rest of the fight, though, is looking really, really good for Amroth. At least this left flank is. And they've got multiple cavalry units onto the Bane of the Steppe for the Easterling forces. However, more of these warlords, the Haven Guard, yeah, this entire right flank is looking very good for Amroth. And their front line is looking pretty good as well. However, this Dalian cavalry has managed to make its way around the back, and also front lines are being enveloped by halberds as well as more cavalry coming in. Sorry, I keep on going to the bad angle of Attila. Yeah, another cavalry charge going in there. I mean, just look how devastating that is. You cannot allow that to go unpunished, because that will just rip through your battle lines. Over on this side as well, we are seeing some Dale swordsmen coming in just to help aid their front line. And yeah, imagine the Haradrim. Yeah, the Haradrim are starting to break now. They just do not have the numbers to withstand this. We also are getting some missile fire here as well, just firing in. Oh, one of the generals have gone down. That is going to be the Easterling general that's going to send a shockwave throughout the battle lines. However, with the support of the cavalry, that's going to be useful. And whose general went down? The the Haradrim general went down. So both the forces from the east have been slain right now. And that's going to free up this entire unit of cavalry, who's realistically lost no men against the Serpent Raiders. Yeah, the Haradrim just do not have the cavalry to really deal with any of these top tier factions like the Easterlings. The Haradrim themselves definitely need more love, and obviously when you get a unit like the Mumakil in, that's going to definitely be a big help. But can I see the Haradrim more as a support faction than anything else? A faction that maybe some more of the evil powers can bring, like it's just kind of like a supplement faction to Mordor more than anything else. But hopefully they do flesh them out and make them a little bit stronger, because yeah, right now they don't really have any shock. I mean, their shock infantry is cool, but I just don't really see it being used much, and their cavalry is just useless. Yeah, the Dale chargers have really won them this battle, and I feel almost sorry for the men on the front line, as they're just being absolutely torn apart. And even though the Knights of the Silver Swan have done what they set out to do, and that's win the cavalry fight, they're now having to fight more cavalry from Dale, who are just constantly harassing. Again, this unit of Dalian cavalry is up to 210 kills. It's absolutely insane. The envelopment over on this other side is not looking good, but as Dalromov's cavalry now finally kind of gives some payback, charging into the back ranks, and now a huge cavalry fight does ensue. But look at that right flank. The Haradrim are broken, and even though the Amroth forces have won their side, well, I say won their side, I think they would have won this if it was just a 1v1. But yeah, the forces of Dale have absolutely demolished their right flank, and that's going to be it. I think the Medallions and the Eastlings are going to advance their way forward. And that's honestly not surprising. You would assume Dale to beat Harad, and you would assume Dol Amroth to beat the Easterlings. Even though I think the Easterlings do have a very good shot, Dol Amroth with the sub-mod is hands down the best faction in the game. They are super scary. Just very, very strong infantry, supported by very strong cavalry, and some of the best shock in the game. You are seeing Dale just again commit some more men here just to try and tie down as much of this infantry as they physically can. And we do also have some more infantry coming in as well, so we do actually have some of the Belfast Marines moving in here as well. Just anything they can to help this out. But obviously you have the entire force of Dale arriving with lots of swordsmen left, and that balance power bar is not looking good. Over 2,000 men there in favor of one of the sides, and we can just kind of sit back and watch the Haven Guard do their thing, because obviously this battle was very hectic. A lot of the time these 2v2 battles are very fast paced. Obviously there is so much going on, but it's quite hard to keep up to date with everything. With some more infantry coming charging in here, again just throwing in against the Haven Guard and the Knights of the Silver Swan. But even their day will soon be numbered, I think. And if we take a look at the overall battle as well, we can just kind of see that the flanking units coming in here are going to basically be enough just to finish up, kind of wrap around the flanks, charge in the back, and yeah, kind of just see off. I'm surprised that the Knights of Imladris have not, or Imrahil, sorry, Imrahil have not broken yet, considering the amount of pressure they are up against, obviously with the arrow fire as well. The Haven Guard, though, doing good, up to 400 kills on that unit of Haven Guard now. As I can get more and more, I mean, again, imagine if they managed to turn this one around. Just like literally the Haven Guard, just, yeah, again, this unit of Haven Guard up to 300 kills as well. You can really see the strength of it. It's just, there's just too much here, and obviously now that the Knights of Rumour Hill are broken, cavalry charges coming in, that is going to, yeah, see off the rest of the battle, I think, for sure. Fire arrows coming in as well, just trying to tip that morale down. And there you go. There we have it. The battle is over, and there's a Pyrrhic victory. Definitely a Pyrrhic victory. If that Haradrian cavalry could have just stemmed off the bleeding, I think the battle could have been won there for sure. It was just unfortunate that they managed to get around the side and finish them up for sure. Yeah, and I think Harad definitely do struggle. Their cavalry is just nowhere near on the same level. And the spearmen obviously aren't going to be getting any kills, but they're going to be holding the line. But yeah, their cavalry, just the Southron Lancers, are just not very good whatsoever. Especially compared to kind of the heavy cavalry units, and that's probably what lost them a battle right there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As you can see, the Dale cavalry, yeah, won that battle for sure, and over on the other side as well. Yeah, I mean, even Knights of Silver Swan didn't do that well. It was obviously the Haven Guards getting the majority of the kills, but even the front line, the Seaward Swordsman as well, doing amazing. And then over on the other side as well, yeah, you can see the cavalry here, it was fairly shut down. For sure. It's just, yeah, it's just the cavalry here. Insane amount of kills for sure. And even the Dale infantry did really, really good as well. But I guess they were just fighting heavy spearmen. So that's probably the reason why. If you guys enjoy this battle, make sure you go ahead and drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what factions you want to see go up against one another in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one.